How about I turn? There we go. Good morning. I'd like to call the meeting to order of the Sacramento County Disaster Council for Wednesday, May 20th. Will the clerk please call the roll and establish a quorum?
Yes, Directors Dickinson, Ducharme,
Here.
Solak,
Here.
Callahan, here, Azevedo, Quiggle,
Here.
Brooks,
Here.
Burton,
Here.
McGinnis, Vega,
Here.
Bethke,
Here.
and Chair Flynn.
Here.
And you have a quorum.
Thank you. Will you please read the meeting announcement?
Yes, this meeting of the Sacramento County Disaster Council is live and recorded with closed captioning. It is cable cast on Metro Cable Channel 14, the Local Government Affairs channel on the Comcast and DirecTV Uverse cable systems. It is also live streamed at metro14live.saccounty.gov. Today's meeting replays Tuesday, May 26th at 9 a.m. on Metro Cable Channel 14. Once posted, the recording of this meeting can be viewed on demand at youtube.com/metrocable14. To make a comment in person, please fill out a speaker request form and hand it to clerk staff. The chairperson will open public comments for each agenda item. When your name is called, go to the podium and make your comment. You may send written comments by email to boardclerk@saccounty.gov. Your comment will be routed to the directors and filed in the record. Thank you in advance for your courtesy and understanding of the meeting procedures.
Thank you. If everyone could please rise and join me in the pledge. Ready? Begin. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Clerk, are there any public comments not posted to the agenda?
Yes, for item 1, we have public comments related to matters not on the posted agenda, and we do have one speaker, Kevin Sue.
Good morning. Thank you, council members and Chair Flynn, for the opportunity to speak. My name is Kevin Sue. I'm with the Sacramento County Department of Water Resources. And I'd like to briefly share some information on our local hazard mitigation plan update, as well as some details on our upcoming meetings. First, for a little background, what is an LHMP, or local hazard mitigation plan? A local hazard mitigation plan provides a framework for lessening disaster impacts by promoting whole community involvement, assessing risks, and developing strategies to mitigate the effects of natural hazards, thereby reducing risks to people, economies, and the natural environment. This local hazard mitigation plan is multi-jurisdictional, as an area-wide plan is more comprehensive and more encompassing in nature. And we have 31 included participating jurisdictions, including all 7 cities, numerous fire districts, reclamation districts, and other special districts. Additionally, we have countless stakeholders from the area participating as well. We kicked off this plan update last fall and have had numerous committee meetings, and as well as public meetings, where we identified hazards as well as risk assessments. For our next phase in this process, we'll be developing mitigation strategies. And I'd like to share some that our next meeting in this process will be on this topic on June 10th, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the county's Environmental Management Department's building at 11080 White Rock Road. And the next day, we'll have another meeting, June 11th, 9 a.m. to noon, at the City of Elk Grove's District 56 at 8230 Civic Center Drive. This information can also be found at stormray.org and under the heading Local Hazard Mitigation Plan. I've also left some flyers at the entrance of the board chambers. If you want to just scan that QR code, you can get some information there as well. These meetings are all open to the public as well as anyone that's interested. We strongly encourage everyone to attend so they can provide their unique viewpoints. We anticipate having a draft ready by September with a final plan ready for Cal OS by December. Again, please check stormray.org for updates and more details, and I hope to see you in June. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any additional public comments?
We have no more public speakers.
Can you please read the next item?
Yes, item 2 is discussion and adoption of the Sacramento County Disaster Council bylaws.
Are there any member questions or comments? Are there any public comments on this item?
This is not a public comment, but I observed a typo that I did not correct.
Okay.
Under Article 2, Section 3, it should be, there are two Section 3.2s.
Okay.
Instead of having a 3.2 and a
So-
3.3. So I think you can amend it on the record, but I just wanted to note that very slight change and apologize.
We will take note of that. And then I think there is also one other element, and it is the resolution number from 1950 that needs to be researched, and the clerk will add that at a later time. Are there any public comments on this item?
We have no public
Okay.
comments.
Do we have a motion on the bylaws?
I had one question
yes.
or item for consideration, and then I'd be willing to make a motion. Dan Quiggle from the Cosumnes Fire Department. I'm here representing fire agencies to the council. What I wanted to share was possible consideration within Section 1 on membership for other special districts. I happen to represent a community services district and was chosen to represent the fire agencies. But if not chosen, or if another fire department was representing us, the community services district wouldn't necessarily be represented on this body. So I just wanted to give some consideration under Section 1 to Item 3, the possibility of adding other special districts. I know that we have fire, water districts, reclamation districts, and utility districts, but there are a variety of other special districts throughout the county. So I was just wondering if the council would give that some consideration, and if so, I'd be willing to make a motion that included that.
So unfortunately, this component of the bylaws is controlled by a Sacramento County Code section that establishes this body. That is something that could be amended, but it would have to be amended via ordinance and go back through the Board of Supervisors for that process. I think that you all could contemplate that at a future meeting if you want to make that recommendation up to the Board of Supervisors or to the Sacramento County Office of Emergency Services to take that, which would be the entity that would raise that. But because this is functionally a copy and paste of an existing ordinance and county code section, I don't think that this body could formally amend that at this time.
Understood. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
Given that, I'll make a motion to adopt the Sacramento County Disaster Council bylaws as written with the two typographical changes, 3.3, as well as the original resolution number from the county. And then just also ask that staff get back to us on what it would take to include other special districts on the council.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. Please vote.
Okay, and that motion passes with all members present, or with those members present.
Thank you. Can you read the next item?
Yes, item 3 is adoption of the 2026 Sacramento County Disaster Relief Council meeting dates.
And are there any member questions or comments? And any public comments?
We have no public comments.
Okay. Do we have a motion for the dates?
I'll move for the dates.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Please
I'm sorry, who
vote.
was the second? Okay. Thank you.
Okay, clerk, can you please read the next item?
That motion passes
sorry.
with those members present. For item 4, we have election of the vice chair.
Do we have any, so the vice chair, I believe, according to county code, must be a city member. And if any of the city members are interested in being a vice chair or participating in that capacity, I think self-nominations may be acceptable. The vice chair responsibilities would be to fill in the chair's absence and probably participate in the agenda development. Is anyone from any city willing to fill that role?
Yes,
Okay,
Madam Chair, I would be willing to adopt and accept that role.
okay. Would anybody?
I'll nominate Chief Solak from the city of Folsom as vice chair.
Fantastic. So we have a nomination for Chief Solak. Is there any other nominations or a second?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a nomination and a second for Chief Solak. Please vote.
And that motion passes with those members present.
Thank you very much. Can you please read the next item?
For item 5, we have adoption of the Disaster Service Worker Volunteer Program Calendar.
Are there any member questions or comments? Any public comments?
We have no public comments.
Do we have a motion to adopt the Volunteer Service Worker Program Calendar?
I'll motion.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Do we have a second? Please vote.
And that motion passes with those members present.
Will you please read the next item?
Item 6 is presentation on the Integrated Preparedness Plan.
Good morning, Council. There it goes. I'm Matthew Hawkins with the Sacramento County Office of Emergency Services. I'm one of the emergency managers there. And I'm going to speak to you briefly today about our Integrated Preparedness Plan. It's formally called the Multi-Year Training and Exercise Plan. And let me just slide right onto this one. So it's a plan we develop annually. We project it out 2 to 3 years as kind of our option. And we have to submit it to state Cal OES by September 30th. And you can see these are some of the earlier iterations of the IPP. But it is a requirement. It's an ongoing requirement. It's mostly a living document, and we're going to go through how we develop this, why it's important, some of the elements of it. Basically, you can see right here, the Integrated Preparedness Plan, it's the roadmap to accomplish the organizational priorities, including the development and maintenance of the overall preparedness capabilities. So this is designed to organize all of our priorities together, not just as OES, but our partner agencies and stakeholders. You can see the purpose there. It contains the preparedness priorities. That's something we develop as we're going through the plan development process. This mostly relies on the cities, county fire, sheriff's office, our office, to help develop those. And it establishes, most importantly, priorities and goals as we approach the next 2 years and how we're going to train, how we're going to equip, how we're going to plan. So I'm not sure why that's cut off, but basically it's the integrated preparedness cycle. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this as we move through. But you can read the statement. But mostly it's continuing the cycle of planning, organizing, equipping, training, and exercising. And then learning from that entire cycle and doing it again and doing it again. And it's an iterative process that continues to build on itself. The pinnacle element of the IPP's development is our workshop. That's just bottom line. So prior to the workshop, we send out an invite. We include a survey, and we hope that folks fill it out. And the survey talks about what you might have as your priorities as an individual organization or department, what you might see as your hazards, your risks, your threats. And we try to cull all of that back and put it together before we actually meet. So it gives us an idea of where there's crossover, of where we have shared threats, where we have shared priorities. And it helps us really hone in when we get to the workshop to do the work. The workshop is generally a day long, half a day long. When we get good at it, it can be a little bit shorter. But the idea is that we all come with our preparedness. We come with our tasks, our training. Most importantly, you'll see up there, the authority to commit. So when you're coming to the workshop, you're speaking for your organization because we are going to make commitments that day about how we're going to train. What's going to be our priority plans as we develop them over the next year, 2 years, 3 years. That is the most important thing, that you come. You can't just come and have, all take it for action. Certainly, there's those areas where you might, but generally, you're coming to help make a plan. You see a survey, just as an example. We'll hand this out or we'll send it out via email with the invite before we actually initiate the workshop. What we're doing at the workshop, you can see here, is identify, validate, update, and report. These are the elements. So we are going to go through this literal 4-step process, and it may be we do breakout sessions, depending on how many folks we have. We may do it as an entire group, whatever the day calls for, but this is the work we're going to do. You can see as, identify preparedness priorities. Hopefully we've done some of that in the survey, so we're not spending a whole lot of time unless somebody didn't have the survey, didn't participate in that. We'll establish our preparedness priorities, and with those, it allows us to develop a training and exercise schedule. For example, preparedness priorities from last year's IPP. And you can see it right here, operational coordination. That seems to be generally our primary priority. Community resilience. Now, these can change. We have mass care services. So let's say we decide this year during our meeting that, hey, we have really built up our mass care planning, our resourcing, our capability. That might not be a priority anymore. Something else may move in its place. We may have had a threat or a risk or an incident over the last year that modifies the whole thing because it just changes the priority of what we're dealing with. So again, these can be fluid. They generally hold pretty steady to these, but what we'd like to see is some of these things move off because it means that we're effectively addressing them. Again, so these are just some examples of your threats, hazards, and risks. You can look at those and kind of get an idea of the types of things we're talking about. Most importantly is that if you've done after-action reports, if you have improvement plans, you're bringing that to the meeting with you. If you have new statutes, for example, our office often has new state statutes that we're dealing with. That may become something that either informs or impedes what we had been doing before. So you got to bring your external resource requirements, grant requirements. If you have certain requirements per your grants that have to be included in your training or your planning cycles, we will look at that as a group. So nobody gets, well, you have this requirement, that's your problem. No, we look at it as a group, and we come together for the best of the group. Some of the things we'll come up with is our training and exercise. So it may be that, hey, this year, we're going to focus on ICS basics. And once we get those down across the organizations that we have, we may move to section specific. We may design a tabletop for the entire operational area. It's going to depend on what we need. Critical to this is that we reduce the redundancies. We reduce the excess costs. So why have 4 different organizations providing the same training, and each of those organizations' training only gets a 40% response? Let's do one training. If we all need it, let's try to get as many folks into that as possible, reduce the cost. Take that extra money and invest it in a different training or in an exercise. These are essentially what we come up with under our priorities. You can see the POETI at the top. So that's your plans, organize, equip, train, and exercise. That was that cycle we talked about originally. And what we do is we identify under the priorities where each of the elements of the plan fit in. So for example, alert and warning training. So priority 3, public information and warning. And it meets with training and exercising. So we'll do those things. This helps us organize how we're going to roll out our program. We may come out with some priority plans. We go, we just did the Joint Information Center System plan this year. That certainly came out of this, from prior iterations of this. So you may come up with a flood annex because we realize that that's a high priority. And then reporting at the very end. So every year after we go through this process, we circle around, we look at what we've done, what we've accomplished, and we report that out. In a nutshell, this is a very, very important thing that we do annually. We invite all of our partners, all of our stakeholders, all of you, please send somebody from your organization. We need them there to make this work the best that we can. I'm happy to take any questions.
When is the next workshop taking place?
Yeah, we're about to kick off the cycle, just in time. So an email with an invite should be going out no later than probably the end of May. And then that should lay out in that email the survey and then the following dates for the workshop. We try to get the workshop done by late June, early July. So it gives us time to develop the actual plan, have reviewed by everybody, and then submit it on time.
Are there any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question. Funding for, is this all grant-related funding, or is there allocated funds?
No, there's not necessarily funding for this. So our office has a responsibility to pull the information together, to create and do the plan, to do the writing of it. This is a participation-based thing. Come, join in. There's no cost. If you can spare somebody for half a day, and then whatever time it takes to review the plan after it's been drafted, prior to that to do the survey, that's really what we're looking for.
So if there was if there was an identified goal that required, say, the acquisition of equipment, where would that funding come from?
That's going to be up to the individual agency. So, as a group, we may be able to sit down and go, hey, I need to buy, our organization is going to buy a whole bunch of lights this year. And we may be able to say, why? We have a whole bunch. And you save that cost on making that purchase. And we can tell you, hey, this is how you're going to get them from us. If you have a large piece of equipment that you need to purchase for, specific for fire, that's not necessarily something that we can engage in financially. But we can certainly sit together and figure out who has what and, where our individual monies can be spent best. So our organization or your organization is not going to take your chest of money and invest it into another organization specifically by buying equipment. It's not constructed like that. This is about, hey, we all have this. We lay it on the table. We all need these things. Where are the places, for example, in the training, that we can come together and let's say our organization can provide the training, because we were going to anyways, and your organization doesn't have to. Those are the real places. And you guys say, hey, floods were real bad last year. We go, yeah, floods were bad. And another one goes, floods were real bad. What's the date of our annex, the last flood plan that we have? We go, well, it's like 4 years, 5 years old. The group goes, yeah, we need a flood plan. And we do a lot of that planning, the annexing, development, because it's part of the emergency operations plan. So that's something that the group could say, hey, we need that plan, and we could put it on our schedule to develop that plan.
So if the group decides to move forward with an objective and there are municipalities or partners that aren't in a financial position to be able to afford, are there grant opportunities so that the collaboration is regional wide and we don't have...
Not through this. You're going to find that with UWASI and other funds that are specifically addressed for that. With this, it's more of a ground level organizational opportunity to, low-hanging fruit. And just to coordinate. And maybe you come in, and we're not spending money on your organization, but your organization ends up saving some money because somebody else is doing the same thing you were about to do.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's important, and I encourage somebody to come from your organization because they can report back their experience of it and what the benefits were.
And I think if I can just add, part of the opportunity for the integrated preparedness plan is to develop those priorities. So those federal grant opportunities that we have that are regionally decided, those are advised as priorities because we have a document outlining that. So that participation is hugely important to advise those groups who are those decision-making bodies for those federal grants.
It gives you something to point to. So when somebody says, hey, why are you doing this training or this plan? You can point to it. You can say, because this is what we've discovered was necessary amongst our operational area partners. And besides, it's a fact for us, it's a requirement. We've got to do it. So.
Are there any other questions?
All
Thank
right.
you, Matthew.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Are there any public comments on this item?
We have no public comments.
Can you please read the next item?
Yes, item number 7 is a Fire Safe Council report.
Good morning, everybody. Oh, I went backwards instead of forward. I'm sorry. My name is Brenna Howell, and I am the Fire Safe Council Coordinator for Sacramento County. I started in this program in 2021. Sacramento County was one of the original recipients of this program from the California State Fire Safe Council. Today, there are now 49 counties out of 58 in the state of California that all have individuals such or similar to myself that are managing the Fire Safe Council grant coordination program statewide and in their individual counties, I'm sorry. But for the most part, our Fire Safe Council role, and these are really our overarching goals, and I think we'll continue to keep these on our goals and objectives for future grant programs, but the main thing that we do is we educate, encourage, develop countywide collaboration amongst wildland fire coordination groups. That's a lot to say, basically, that there were a lot of great people in this county doing a tremendous amount of wildland fire mitigation activities, and everybody wasn't talking to each other. And so really what we're doing is the clearinghouse for that and how to move those goals and objectives forward through this grant. A little bit of background. Like I said earlier, in 2021, we were original members of the pilot program. We continued that in the 2022 grant program, and now we're currently working in the 2025, and we've just been notified and working with the California State Fire Safe Council that the grant will be extended into October of 2027. One thing to mention about that the California State Fire Safe Council has been working at the political levels in the Senate and the Assembly, and they're pushing SB 973, which is a bill also known as the County Coordinator Bill, which aims to permanently fund these positions statewide in California. It has made its way through the Senate currently and is now in the Assembly, and so we're really halfway there, and we're hoping that we're going to take this home and permanently fund this program for the state. The work that our county is doing and other counties in the state of California, bringing together a whole host of different groups, which I'll talk about in a second, to mitigate wildfire has been tremendous. So some of our other responsibilities that we do, we have a set of tasks that we apply for every year and outline our work plan essentially, but I've listed above some of the main tasks that we're working on currently. We're developing and working with volunteer groups here in Sacramento County, mostly in the South County and along the American River Parkway, to develop a community wildland fire prevention plans. You heard them talk earlier about the local hazard mitigation plan. These plans bring the fire element to that overarching plan and set goals and objectives for those local groups on how to move forward with wildland fire mitigation, outreach, education to community members, fuels reduction projects, and the like. We also work with those groups to write grants and support their efforts to bring those projects in. They don't have any money, and so largely their funding is coming from grants. We collect data and track the efforts that they're doing so we can keep a record of all of the different projects that are going on, and then we support them by developing outreach tools and educational materials, and then we attend their meetings and help them facilitate meetings and sort of adopt the government process, like not as formal as what we're doing here this morning, but keeping minutes, setting agendas, and continuing to move forward. Some of our key partners, and these are just a few, but we have 3 main fire safe councils in the county of Sacramento. American River, which spans all the way from Folsom down to Discovery Park. The community of Herald, so it's essentially the footprint of the Herald Fire Protection District, and then the Rancho Murrieta Regional Fire Safe Council, which expands outside of the gates of the Rancho Murrieta HOA and encompasses the community around Rancho Murrieta. There are homeowners associations that are trying to work on developing fire-wise communities, and we work with a myriad of Sacramento County partners and agencies, fire agencies, resource conservation districts, nonprofits. CAL FIRE Amador El Dorado unit is one of our main partners. And then I can't forget about the California State Fire Safe Council, who is here in the room. We have a couple of individuals that are here in the room, and the support from that body and their team has been tremendous for county coordinators like me to help further those goals and objectives in the program. We're looking to add more cities and partners and other HOAs and resource conservation districts, community services districts like you were talking about earlier. And so we'd love to hear from all of you. If you have any wildland fire or fire, mitigation projects or community members that are talking to your jurisdictions about what can we do to make our neighborhood safer, or what can we do to help educate people on home hardening or reduction, limbing projects, ladder fuels reduction, things like that, please give us a call. We're happy to come and talk to you about those programs. And that's really one of my main roles, is to help support you so that we continue to educate our public. These are this grant period's work plan tasks. I'm not going to go through them all, but as I said earlier, each grant cycle we have new tasks and benchmarks for measurement and measures our success. Key this period, I talked earlier about our CWPP. That's monumental to bring a group of volunteers to get their goals and objectives on paper and get them officially formed as a 501c3 nonprofit so that they can actually apply for grant funding opportunities on their own and be a standalone body without our support. Well, we'll still support them, but we want them to function on their own so that they can bring these opportunities into their community. And then just continuing that public education piece. I can't stress it enough, even from, my career as an emergency manager, the public preparedness element is really one of the most important things that we should be doing to support our community. This is really the long-term goals from the California State Fire Safe Council. And what I think SB 973 is intended to do is to help us be able to carry out those goals locally. What are our next steps? So we're supposed to find out mid-June if we're getting the 26-27 grant allocation, and we're going to continue to do outreach, recruit, help people and communities develop fire-wise communities. We're going to continue with our CWPP development. We're going to apply for more grants to do fuels reduction projects. One that comes to mind is the Rancho Murrieta Fire Safe Council applied for a CAL FIRE grant and was awarded $4.5 million to do ladder fuels reduction projects around the perimeter of the community. It backs up to a quite large open space, and so by limbing up those trees to 12 feet off of the ground and chipping and taking care of some of that debris that was on the ground, they've increased their resiliency tremendously. So that's an example of some of the things that we're working with them on. Herald, the community of Herald is working with the California Conservation Corps to come in and do some fuels mitigation work in the eucalyptus groves that are out there. You know, eucalyptus trees are like candles and they can just explode, and there is a lot of eucalyptus groves in the community of Harold. So those are some of the next steps that we're going to be working on. We'll continue our coordination, communication, and education. We actually have on the docket to do an actual live evacuation exercise in the community of Harold. It's going to be small, but we'd like to evacuate a neighborhood or two and communicate them through our alert and warning system, and then open up an evacuation center at the fire department property. And so our initial planning has started in that area, and we hope to carry that out. The goal is to do it this fall, but I'm thinking we're probably looking more at like the winter time. And then chipper days in the communities, and we've been working with our county partners at the Department of Transportation to utilize some of their chipper machines and messaging signs, and so you'll see some of those projects getting implemented later on this year. And with that, I can take questions.
Thank you, Brenda. Does anyone have any questions? Are there any public comments? Oh, question?
I do have one question. Thank you for the comment on sort of expanding the fire safe councils. Would you recommend increasing the size of some of the existing councils, or are we talking about adding more councils? Are they more successful when they share sort of a jurisdictional boundary, or is it a multi-agency component, or what would your thoughts be?
I think they're more successful when they're smaller groups focused on their community area. So we would like to see more of that being done, especially in the South County. You know, Wilton, the fringes of Elk Grove, even Citrus Heights. There has been a few HOAs with a tremendous amount of oak trees and some drainage creeks, some of our county creeks and things like that. So it's more focused, community driven, not a larger group. But I know there is some thought about having a county-wide fire safe council. Maybe it reports to this body in the future, but we're still studying and looking at what would work best for the county. And so we'll bring that back to you and talk to you guys about that in the future.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brenna. Any public comment?
We have no public comments, and for the record, Director Azevedo is now present.
Thank you. Can you please read the next item?
Yes, item 8 is Director comments, reports, and announcements.
Can I ask a question? Do I start with others and I finish, or do I start up to me? We'll start with anyone. Does anyone have any comments to close the meeting? Okay. With that, I would just like to say thank you to all of you for being here. I know this is a new experience, and you're kind of, some people may be wondering, what is this body about? The Disaster Council has been on the books, as you saw in the bylaws, since 1946, and there is a resolution since 1950. It is part of state law to identify a group or a body of representatives from around the county, because under state law, the county is also the operational area and is the liaison between cities, special districts, and those organizations that need to get access to or report up to the state. So during an emergency, the county is that liaison, that body that represents. The Disaster Council's purpose is to advise the Office of Emergency Services and to advise the Board of Directors, the Board of Supervisors, on, important things that we should take into consideration regarding emergency management. As you can see, this is a diverse representative body for the Disaster Council, and that's intentional because a lot of people think emergencies are FEMA. FEMA is a federal element that is a support element to local disasters. Everything starts locally, and it requires cooperation and coordination from each one of us and our representative jurisdictions of responsibility. It requires involvement of the business community, special utilities, special districts, fire, law, elected officials. All of these come to play during a disaster, and it's really important that we establish that communication and coordination. And that's my hope for this body as it is starting today and grows. And I hope that you are able to come back to this body with maybe presentations or information on things your jurisdiction is involved in, things that are representative of who you're representing on the council, and interests, concerns, questions you have for the overarching emergency planning that takes place in this county. So this is the forum for that. It is also a public forum. So we want to encourage the public to be involved and participate in their own response to disasters. It's not just these groups of individuals who take care of you during a disaster. It is each one of us in the community who take care of each other in a disaster. And so I just want to emphasize that's a huge component of this, from getting the public involved and informed in emergencies in Sacramento County. So with that, I'm closing my comments. And again, just want to express my thanks to all of you for being here. If there is no further business for this board, we stand adjourned. Oh, do I actually need to do the gavel?